Minutes. Minutes.
Everybody's good at something, and, these guys can do like, do anything where you just fix anything or deal with anything or.
I like my wife tells me I'm good for nothing. That's.
But I, clean and with a good writer.
Okay. Wait,
Research and write. Right.
Yeah, no, I look a lot.
The point is, we have to account.
Good morning, everyone. Please silence all your cell phones, everybody.
One of you.
Oh, one of you, right. Ms. Thompson, please call the roll.
Member DeMoss,
Present.
Member Powell,
Present.
Member Chudnovsky,
Present.
Member Brown,
Present.
There he is.
All right.
Member Adwar,
He is ill.
Vice Chairperson Mendelson. Present. Chairperson Goldenberg
Present.
and Town Attorney Rubin.
Can we all rise, pledge allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, approval of the agenda. Does anybody have any additions or deletions at this point? Can we have a motion to accept the agenda?
I motion to accept the agenda. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Swearing in of the public. Please stand, give your testimony.
By the
Sworn in.
authority vested in me as a notary of the state of Florida, do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any public comments? Hearing none. Let's get the approval of the minutes for November 17th, 2022. Are there any corrections, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2022?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why does it say October 13th on my agenda? October 13th, it doesn't say anything.
That must be an error.
No, that's not an error. So that's in the minutes. So when you're reading the minutes will have information from the last series of events. So if you look on the top, it'll say draft. In that set of minutes that you're reading, that's from the last meeting.
Right, but this is today's agenda and he just said we were approving the November 17th minutes. I don't see that as an agenda item. Am I missing that?
Item 7 on the agenda, approval of the minutes, it says November 17th, 2022.
Okay.
When you look at the approval of the minutes on that last set of minutes, it'll say October 13th, 2022, because that was the last meeting.
Right. So you're saying I'm reading the minutes themselves?
Yes, you're reading the minutes.
Oh. Sorry.
That's okay. So I'm clean and green, so.
Motion to approve the minutes. Second.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. And is there any unfinished business? Hearing none, let me move on to new business, development application number 22-0013 for William R. Thomas. Approval by Mr. Thomas for Unlimited Permit Services, Inc. for a special exemption approval to install a 107 linear foot seawall, 180 square foot dock, and a 27,000 pound capacity boat lift for the property located at 4320 Intercoastal Drive. Does any member have an ex parte communication to disclose? Hearing none, at this time then, I will now open the public hearing to Town Planner Allen. Please present your recommendations regarding this application. Ms. Allen?
Very good. Good morning. For the record, Ingrid Allen, Town Planner. We'll go ahead and please put up the PowerPoint. Thank you. We'll start off with the aerials, which are in your packet, of course, on page 16 and 17.
The delay is waiting for the aerials to show.
Well, while we're waiting, I will just comment that you could see from the aerials, it's a vacant lot. I've indicated in the staff report that back in 2018, there was a permit approved for the demolition of an existing home that was once on the lot. And in November, or I should say on November 10th of 2021, the planning board, you all did approve a site plan for this particular property. It was for a 3-story, 8,298 square foot single family residence, which included a pool and spa.
And they're currently building on it.
Yes, they are. I think the aerials were from March 9th of 2021. So they'll probably update them again now in January.
All right, we're having some
Well,
issues with
having
the
some issues.
slides.
Okay, just to very quickly recap. So this is the installation of a 107-foot linear foot seawall. It will be within 18 inches waterward of the existing seawall. And it's a 180 square foot concrete dock and a 20,000 pound capacity. This is an elevator boat lift. Here we are. So then we go to the next slide. There we go. So again, here's the aerial, right, looking right from above. And then if we go to the next one, we zoom into the dock, not the dock, but the seawall that's existing there. The applicant did receive both Florida Department of Environmental Protection as well as the Army Corps approval for this request. I've gone ahead and provided those file numbers in your staff report. According to section 6-128 of the town code, all seawalls that are west of State Road A1A are required to have a base flood, are required to be at base flood elevation or higher. I've indicated in your staff report that the current base flood elevation for this property is 6 feet. And the applicant's proposed seawall is at 6 feet. If we can go to the next slide, we could take a look at the plan here. I'm sorry, I don't have the red. We don't have the. No, okay. So I've gone ahead and put some red notes here. So you'll see the 107 linear foot seawall, and then jutting out a bit is the 180 square foot dock. And then of course, a 27,000 pound capacity lift. I've also indicated in the staff report that this application is in compliance with the 25-foot required site setback, given this property is zoned with a residential single-family zoning district. So those are the two setbacks. They're way more than 25 feet on the side. The lift, we can go to the next slide, please. Actually, this shows the base flood elevation at 6 feet, and we can go to the next slide. The boat lift is consistent with the definition of boat lift. The lift cannot be higher than the superstructure of the boat when lifted. As you could see here on the diagram, the top of the lift is at 6 feet. The top of the superstructure of the boat is at 6 feet 6 inches. I don't believe the diagram is, it's not lifted up, right? Right, it's going to be a little bit higher, but again, it is consistent. The applicant's request is consistent with the special exception provisions of section 30-36. Where applicable, and it is consistent with the town's comprehensive plan and code of ordinances. Section 30-36A of the Town Code states that the planning board may approve with conditions, or deny a request for special exception relating to seawalls, bulkheads, retaining walls, and accessory marine facilities. If the planning board approves a request, the applicant will be required to obtain a building permit from the Town of Highland Beach Building Department. Such approval and prior to the initiation of construction. Section 30-21G requires that commencement of construction shall be initiated within 2 years following the date of approval by the planning board. Staff is recommending approval of the request. These are based on the plans that were received, date stamped December 22nd of 2022. I'll be glad to address any questions, and we also have the applicant's authorized agent here to address any questions as well.
Question.
Thank you. Does any member of the board have any questions? Brian?
Ingrid, curious about concrete dock. Is that unusual?
No, we've had several concrete docks in the past 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have wood docks, we have concrete.
Well, I know
docks.
the wood
Yeah.
docks. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was just surprised to see a concrete one.
Yeah, again, the code doesn't really call out concrete docks specifically, it's just docks. But I have seen them. Yes, they have come before you.
Hmm.
And I usually will call them out in the staff report. I give a little bit more detail than what's advertised.
Uh-huh.
Eileen?
Yeah, I'm just curious, this is totally curiosity.
Okay.
If we had all those, we all went out on the boat, we had those hearings.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there were like things that were. Oh, sorry. We all went out on the boat when we went to the public hearings where you were discussing what might happen. How would this have changed, if at all, if that was enacted? What would be the outcome of this approval?
Well, with all due respect, I review plans based on what's on the current code, not what may be. So I didn't look at it that way. I mean, I could look at the plan real quick and see how far they encroach into the water. We talked about at the public input meetings, about 25% or 25 feet. So this is on the intercoastal, so it would be 25 feet. Let's see how far they jut out. It looks like from the property line, they jut out. If you go to sheet number 5, which is page 5 of, well, sheet 5 on your plans. From the property line, that lift goes out 20 feet, 9 inches. So it would be in compliance there. Now, the amendment concept also talked about possibly reducing, right, the site setback, right? This is a currently 25-foot site setback, so it would go down to 10, which they're in compliance. Possibly they would have come in with maybe a wider dock. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Also,
Totally curious.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I just, I don't.
no, it was interesting that this dock will be grandparent in anyway.
Right. This
one- and yeah.
There are changes.
Right, then, yeah.
But also during the public meetings, we were talking that there'd even be a difference if it was on the intercoastal, because then it would be controlled by the state and the feds.
Well, regardless if it's on the intercoastal or whether it's in the canals or lakes, Army Corps regulates the waterways. I think I mentioned at one of the public input meetings,
Right.
maybe all three. That staff, we actually met with Army Corps 3 years ago. We sat down with them and we just wanted to be sure that they do regulate. Again, not only the intercoastal, but the canals and lakes, and they do. So.
All right, great.
And what is the status of all those public hearings? Is
Yeah.
it going back to the?
Yes.
to the
Talk about that a little
commission?
bit.
Okay.
So we are preparing, or I am preparing a memorandum,
Wait,
basically.
can we just
Yeah,
hold
we'll talk
off on
about
that
that
until
later.
we
Yeah,
move
we
on
can-
on this and then
After the
have a little
application.
general discussion
Sorry.
about it?
Sorry.
All right, does any other member of the
I
board,
do.
go ahead.
Ingrid, the contractor who's going to be building the seawall, has that been listed? Has he been identified?
For the development approval application, we just required the property owner's name and then their authorized agent. Are you all-
Well, why don't we have, do we want to move on and then let the applicant answer that question?
I'm sure the authorized agent can address that.
Of
question.
course.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions of the board? Then applicant may now make a presentation, please.
Yes, good morning, William Thomas, Unlimited Permit Services. The contractor of record will be B&M Marine, and have done a lot of work in this area. They're one of our larger contractors that we work with. And to address the issue with the wood dock and the concrete dock, wood is becoming so expensive now that it's almost less expensive to build a concrete dock. And when you build a concrete dock, it's gonna last forever. A hurricane's not gonna take it down. All the docks that get damaged during hurricanes are wood docks because the waves come up and take out the decking. So a lot of people are building concrete docks now.
Interesting.
Any other questions of the applicant? Thank you. All right, at this time, the public meeting is now closed. Is there a motion to approve this application?
Motion to approve.
Second,
I'm sorry. who gave
Ms.
the
Thompson,
second?
do we have to have a roll call?
Yes, who gave the second?
Both of us. Jason and I.
Okay.
Pick one.
Pick one.
Okay.
Ms. Thompson, please call the roll.
Vice Chair Mendelson,
Yes.
Member Demas,
Yes.
Member Brown,
Yes.
Member Powell,
Yes.
Member Chudnovsky,
yes.
and Chairperson Goldenberg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right,
You go.
congratulations. All right, number B, 2022 proposed planning board meeting dates. Is there a motion to call for approval of these dates, or are there any questions on these dates? What, could I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
What page are the motion, the dates on?
They're on a separate page at the back, I believe.
59.
Last page of the agenda.
59, okay. Thank you. Okay.
I did bring up a question about September 14th. It's very close to the Jewish High Holy Days. And I've been assured that we'll work around that. So again, is there a second to this motion, or do we have a motion to approve? Somebody,
I gave a motion to approve.
second?
Second.
Do we want a roll call or just a voice vote? Voice vote? Everybody approve? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right, and then we're moving on. Announcements, January 16th, 2023, the town hall will be closed for Martin Luther King Day.
Mhm.
January 17th, there'll be a town commission meeting at 1:30 PM. January 24th, there'll be free coffee with the mayor at 9 AM. And donations will be accepted by me. If you'd like to give me, I can help. January 26th, 2023, at 11:30 AM, the Financial Advisory Board regular meeting. And February 9th at 9:30 AM, a tentative planning board regular meeting, and I understand there will be some applications, so there will be a meeting, so you can mark that down. Being no other further business,
there-
yes?
Yeah, I wanted to have her finish the new business we were.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Could we have a discussion about where we go with that? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not on the agenda, but I'm happy to just give you a
Some
heads up.
general, yeah.
Yeah. So I am preparing a summary of the public input meetings, going through all the public comments. To provide a summary, obviously, I will be attaching all the public comment sheets that we have received and other public comment emails or what have you. That will all be put into a memorandum to the town commission. We are anticipating to bring this forward to the town commission at their February 7th meeting. And then they'll determine next steps, if they want to maybe massage it a bit, if they want to bring it back, bring it to you all to look at it. If they want it in an ordinance format, because right now this is all about amendment concepts. Do they still want to massage the amendment concepts? Are they ready to move it again into maybe a more of an ordinance format? So we'll get next steps. That's the hope for the meeting on February 7th.
All right, well, I would hope, even though it'll be more work for the planning board, I hope it comes back to the planning board since we've all been involved with it now.
Yeah.
And that is part of our purview to help the town.
Yeah, I mean, it has to come back to the board if it's going to be an ordinance, because it's changes to chapter 30, which you all should be reviewing
Right.
it. Yeah,
And we all went out on a boat.
of course.
Well,
right
we'd like
there.
to go
That's
out,
reason
we'd
enough,
like to go
right?
out on the boat to just review what we have seen before. Since there's been no further business at this time, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
At this time, the meeting is closed. Thank you.